everybody, Jeff here, AromatiX. Hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing good. On this crisp, cool late November day. Although it's very sunny out, and on this side of the house it's actually quite pleasant. A great day to smoke good strong burley, which I will be reviewing here today in a minute. So tonight is Mike Tyson is back out of retirement and he's fighting Roy Jones Jr. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really like my mixed martial arts, and I never really did watch Mike Tyson in his heyday. I wasn't a big boxing fan back then. But looking forward to getting a good cigar out and watching that, and maybe doing a cigar review later as well. But for now, I'm going to be smoking and reviewing Rattray's Stirling Flake. Now, I heard this tobacco from Uncle Phil, from Uncle Phil's Cellar. Check out his channel, it's very good. And I heard it from him because there was one time when I was smoking Peterson's Irish Flake and reviewing it, and he told me if I like it, Rattray's Stirling Flake is very similar, if not the same. Some people think it's the same because there's a story behind that. Maybe I'll get to that in a little bit later in the video, we'll see. But they basically have the same contents, and they're basically well, I'll read you the description here. Stirling Flake is a full-bodied blend for experienced smokers, which I would agree, who can appreciate the intensity of an English flake. Equal proportions of air-cured, flue-cured, and dark-fired tobaccos give this heavyweight its specific taste. So yes, and if you read the description of the Irish Flake, it's quite similar, only a little bit different. A full-bodied blend of equal proportions air-cured, flue-cured, and dark-fired Virginia and burley. True to the pure, unspoiled tobacco taste, the earthy and slightly sweet blend is recommended for the experienced pipe smoker. So almost the exact same tin description. So yes, it is basically like a three-way, supposed to be equal, air-cured, flue-cured, and dark-fired. So there's dark-fired Virginia, there's burley, and there is, I think, an air-cured, or flue-cured, what did it say? Yeah, flue-cured, so I imagine that's the Virginias, of course. So, let's get on with the tin note here. So, well, first of all, it's a beautiful dark flake, which I can show you here. And, yeah, it's your typical, really nice, compacted flake that's pretty much stays together. Wow, the smell in here is not what I remember from the Irish Flake. The Irish Flake kind of just reminded me of it was a little bit milder in smell from what I could tell, from what I remember. It's been a while since I smoked it. But I did go through a phase where I smoked almost a whole tin in a very short period of time. But that one, it was just sort of like a vague, there was a little bit of that dark-fired Virginia smell. But this one, that's what I mostly smell, is dark-fired Virginia. So if you have ever smelled any of the Gowith and Hogarth blends, like Brown No. 4 or Dark Flake, any of those, or even actually what it really reminds me of is, what is it called? The Rustica. It's got that kind of a pepperoni, meaty, cooked meat smell to it, whereas the Irish Flake came off more of like a rummy, tangy kind of smell, more Virginia forward. So anyway, I've loaded up my homemade, I don't know how well it'll show up, homemade little stubby poker, which is just fantastic for burleys. It's probably my favorite pipe now. If I'm smoking a burley, this one beats my corn cobs, beats everything. I'm really liking it. So flavor-wise, now the smell actually kind of makes me, when I smelled it, it kind of made me feel, makes me feel a little nauseous, and I think that's because, have you ever been sick before, and you eat a food or smell something, like you have the flu, and then you're feeling sick, so then even after your flu is gone, you connect that smell with like feeling sick. I think I had the flu earlier in the fall, and just when I got the Rattrays and the smell, it just kind of made me feel a little bit sick, although there's nothing wrong with the smell. It's actually quite pleasant. But the smell doesn't really come across in the taste. Taste-wise, the first thing I get from this is actually the sweet white burley. And that's what I'm guessing is in here. Lately, I've been smoking a lot of burleys, and especially a lot of pure burleys, one of which was the Sutliff's White Burley Cube. So I've really got a good taste of what a white burley brings to the table. And on its own, it's actually quite nondescript. You really have to add something to a white burley to make it taste like anything. On its own, it basically is just a feeling you get. And you have to add either, like maybe there's a little bit of a pistachio nut, slightly. But mostly, you know, you'll get whatever topping they add. A little bit of cocoa usually, or molasses, which really does well with the burley. So this, you can taste that kind of white burley, that little bit of pistachio that sort of fills out the rest of the tobaccos. So a kind of sweet pistachio fullness you get in the back of your throat. The Virginias are barely there, which is funny because in the Peterson, that seemed to be the forward tobacco to me, is sort of like a rummy red Virginia. And then the dark-fired, kind of pepperoni, smoky tobaccos were fighting back and forth with that. Oh, no, it wasn't. With the Irish Flake, it was the red Virginia, and that white burley would kick in every once in a while. And the dark-fired was just like a 10 or 15% just in the background. Whereas this seems to be, it's the white burley that stands out. And the Virginia and that tangy red Virginia, or Virginias, I'm guessing it's red Virginia, maybe not. And the dark-fired Virginia are a lot more prominent in this, in the Stirling, than it is in the Irish Flake. Hope I'm not confusing you. I'm confusing myself here. Overall, what comparison-wise, I would say that they're not quite the same. I would say overall, the Rattrays is a stronger tobacco because the burley is always there. You always have a heavy mouthfeel, as well as those dark-fired Virginias, which are also a strong in and of themselves. Very stout. Yeah, I actually didn't find the Irish Flake to be as strong when I first got it, as strong as people said. This Rattrays, though, right from the start, I'm getting it's strong. The burley is always there. A little bit floral, like airy, like a fresh meadow, like clover. Yep, and those tangy kind of Virginias and the flue-cured Virginias and the dark-fired Virginias are fighting back and forth. Just adding that nuance on top of that burley. Yeah, I didn't really mean this to be as much a comparison as it was just a straight Rattray's review, but I guess I'm gonna retitle this video Rattray Stirling Flake review and Irish Flake comparison. So have any of you guys tasted either one of these blends, or both of them, and what do you think's the difference, if there is one, and which one do you prefer, if you prefer one? Anyway, I think I'll leave it at that, and look forward to hopefully a cigar review coming soon for you people that like my cigar reviews. And I'll talk to you on my next video. So you guys take care. Till then, AromatiX signing out.